Hi, welcome to my balcony garden. We're going to talk about today hydroponics and gardening again. What I wanted to talk about is don't be afraid if things get too big in your hydroponics to transfer it to dirt. Because a lot of times I was struggling with this plant today, trying to get it out of my hydroponics. It's really my fault because I should have known that this plant was getting big. Let me show you. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Sorry. I should have known that this lavender was getting huge. The trunk of the lavender was getting huge in my hydroponics. And I had to fight with it to get it out. This lavender was in my, it smells so good. It was in my hydroponics. And yeah, it'll straighten back up. It's bent because it was bent towards the light. But it'll straighten back up. I mean, I can easily put a stick in here and have it straighten up. But just to let you know, when your plants start getting huge in the hydroponic, don't be afraid to take it out. Or if it starts to grow big, just lift it out to make sure that it doesn't get stuck in there. Because it took me a while to get this plant out. The base of this plant was so thick, it wasn't funny. It was very thick, and it gave me a struggle to get it out. But I got it out nonetheless, and I put it in dirt. It smells really good. This is lavender, English lavender, right? While I was there taking out that plant, I took out my cilantro. This is cilantro. It grew. What I did with the cilantro, though, I split it. I put half out here and kept another half in my hydroponics. So, because what I like to do is, I like a lot of herbs in my hydroponics, so when I'm cooking, I just go over there, get my herbs, wash them, and cook them, right? But yeah, I had to, my cilantro got so big that I had to bring it out and put it in a pot. I also ended up putting my calamine. This is calamine. I ended up cutting it back and putting it in a pot. So this got really big in my hydroponics. So what I ended up doing was cutting it back and put it in a pot, right? So once it starts getting tall again, I will start cutting it and making tea out of it. It smells really, really good. So I'll be doing that. I love thyme. I love, 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 love thyme. And, hold on. I have about 3 things of thyme in my hydroponics. So this one I took out and put it in dirt because I've got 2 more in there. Because I cook with thyme all the time, and I love, 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 love thyme. So I have my thyme in my hydroponics. I find my stuff grows well there. Later, if it gets too big, put it to dirt, and then I have my garden where I put it out on my balcony in a pot, right? If you ever need starter plants that are $6, $7, the big ones, your best bet is to have a desktop hydroponic. Start the plant in there. It'll start pretty fast. After it grows and it gets real big, then just transfer it to dirt, and you have the plant that you want. It's real easy. Seeds are cheap. Not as expensive as a starter plant, which is almost $5 a plant. 3 plants is what? $15, almost 20 bucks. Yeah, I'd rather start it in my hydroponics. Hydroponics is a good investment. Whether it be the tower or the desktop, it doesn't matter. The desktop can go on your kitchen counter. That's how small it is, the desktop. And like I said, you could use it as a plant starter. It's really good. The tower, I wouldn't use the tower as a plant starter, even though you can put Rockwell in it and start your plants. You can do that if you want, but I usually start them off in my desktop and then transfer them to my tower. And then if they get too big for my tower, then I take them out and transfer them to dirt, because after a while, they get unmanageable in that tower. I have 2 cucumber vines, and they're starting to bloom. I wanted to bring them out here, but I'm going to let them stay in their bloom, harvest my cucumbers, and once I'm done doing my harvest, then I'm going to just take them out here and put them out here to climb, because they're not going to die, right, you know. So, yeah, just a quick note to let you know, don't be afraid to lift your stuff out of the tower or out of the desktop hydroponics if it's getting big, to make sure it doesn't get stuck in there. And then, you know, like I said, I move mine from the desktop to the tower because the tower can handle bigger plants. And then if it gets too big in the tower, then I move it to the garden, because it doesn't matter how big it gets in the garden, the dirt can handle it. Right? So, yeah, just to let you know, that hydroponics is a good way to start seeds. It starts it easy, quick, and it grows it really, really big. The only thing is acclimating it to the light. When you take it from hydroponics to soil, you have to acclimate it. When I say acclimate it, the light in your house is not as strong as the sunlight, so you want to put it in a shady area. Once it gets used to that shady area, you slowly move it over to partial shade. After partial shade, if the plant likes full sunlight, then you can move it to full sunlight. If not, keep it in partial shade. It'll do fine right there, right? So, just a quick tip. If your plants start getting too big for the hydroponics, because this has happened to me many, many times, where my plants will get, it'll look huge, this huge plant coming out this little tower, and it gets uncontrollable, so I end up taking it out and putting it to dirt. I have a lettuce that I just took out of my tower, and the only reason why I took the lettuce out of my tower, because I let it go to seed, because I wanted it, let's see if I have it here. I wanted it to go to seed because, give me a second. Let's see if I can find it. The reason why I wanted it to go to seed is because it was too big for my tower. Here it is. It was getting too big for my tower. I don't know if you can see this, but I had this in my tower. I just transplanted it into dirt today. This is how big it was in my tower, and I was like, okay, time to get you out. It's going to seeds. I want it to go to seeds because I'm going to collect the seeds from the lettuce, right? So, just to let you know, you can I've had lettuce go to seeds before in the tower, but I think from now on, anytime I let it go to seed, I'm going to transplant it to dirt and let it go to seed that way. But because it gets really tall, the flower stalks, right? So just to let you know, you're not confined to keeping the plant in the tower garden. You can put it to seeds. Put it to dirt. Once you put it to dirt, you can, continue eating off of it while you have your tower, or, whatever it is. I'm not the one to, kill a plant. So I'm not the type of person that when I'm done with it, I'm throwing you out and I'm going to clean my tower up and start again. No. What I'll do is put you to dirt in my garden and start my tower again. If you're still alive and you're looking good and you're still going to bloom more, I'll put you out in my garden and start my tower garden again. Clean it out. Wash it, because you do have to wash it out, because it's going to have a lot of roots in it, and you want to clean out the roots so it doesn't clog up your pump, and it's best to clean out the roots, right? And clean out the water and start fresh when you start planting again, right? So just a couple of tips to let you know what you can do. The tower garden is a very good investment for your garden. Just in regular, because if you have hard seeds that are hard to start, you should start them in your desktop, or like I said, you can start them in a tower garden. Just get some Rockwell, put the Rockwell in the little slot, and then put the seed on top, and watch. It'll grow in no time. But Yeah, I like to use the little sponges. I use the sponges in my garden. I don't in my tower garden rather than use the Rockwell. I have the Rockwell. I use those for new starters, but in my tower garden, I'll get the starter plants from my desktop hydroponics, put the sponge around it, and then put it in my tower garden. The tower garden, I tell you, that takes off. It really takes off once it's there. So just a few tips to let you know how you could intertwine both of them. Thank you for joining me and have a wonderful, wonderful day.